El Matador gets it done in round one. I have not slept. I was just screaming my head off. My lungs and my throat are in agony. Ilia Topuria gets it done. What a fucking beast. 17-0. That is how you do it. Can I just say, that is how you become a superstar. That is how you make money. That is how you make fans hate you and love you. By giving everyone nasty KOs, by talking your shit, by being the most confident individual we've ever seen on the planet when it comes to this sport. Deep rooted confidence. It's a fucking superpower in this sport. And he got it done. I'm so fucking happy. And Paddy Pimblett got in the cage after. They're talking, he's shoving him. Wow. That's incredible, folks. That is absolutely... Just how good is Josh Emmett's chin? That's all I want to say. He went 5 rounds with Ilia. Absolutely fantastic fight. In terms of like the walkouts and the atmosphere in that arena. Kind of died off, Talbot won, then Dariush won, and I was like, oh, this is a really bad night for me. Pantoja got the submission with ease. I was like, okay, good. Van won, which I was like, thank God. So you can do Van versus Pantoja next, which is really fucking awesome. And now you can do Pimblett versus Topuria. Now look, folks, everyone's saying they better not give Paddy Pimblett a title shot. So you'd rather Gaethje gets a title shot after beating 12 Fiziev and now refusing to fight again, or give Pimblett a title shot when he's just beaten Ferguson, Bobby Green, and Chandler? Oliveira beat Chandler to fight for the title, and then beat Chandler last time out to fight tonight. So obviously Chandler within the UFC holds some weight in terms of a title shot, and Ilia Topuria wants to fight him. No. Sorry folks, I've been up since 5 o'clock yesterday morning because that's when I was working, and now it's 6:30. I'm very, very sleepy. I'm going to try rattle this through though, but I'm fucking hyped at the same time. My throat hurts. He's a beast. He flattens Charles. Just a ding ding. Charles, literally, it was a weird knockout because it wasn't even like he slowly fell to the ground. It was ding ding, vroom, ding ding, vroom, right to the floor. Then just ding ding, walks off and just sips his tea. The man is fantastic. However, I still think Pimblett beats him. Oh, but Pimblett doesn't move his head, and if Ilia rushes in, he's guaranteed going to connect. Who the fuck do you choose? It's funny though, he was like, there's a little blonde bitch. He called Pimblett a little blonde bitch. Oh, I reckon they make that fight beginning of next year on the new deal. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. On the new, if UFC sign with Netflix, starting from next year, that's the first fight I would have next year. Get their deal off with a bang. Because realistically, you're gonna have a few other fighters happen, and then you're realistically gonna have Aspinall in September, Islam in October. November might be a bit soon, but you could do November, December. But then obviously you've got, the other champions looking to headline cards, and I don't think the UFC would pay out 2 champions on the same event when it's an event that big. So yeah, cry more if you don't want Paddy Pimblett getting the next title shot. Like, if they give Paddy Pimblett a title shot, that is mental. But the thing is, folks, you obviously like the sport enough to care about that, but you don't love the sport enough to accept the fact that this is going to be one of the biggest fights of all time in the history of the sport. The 2 biggest stars in the lightweight division are going at it. That doesn't happen often without one of them losing before. They're both undefeated in the UFC. I think they actually both have the same amount of fights in the UFC. I think they both have like 8 fights, 7 fights. No, I think Pimblett's on 8 fights and Topuria's now on 8. Wow. And do they have the same amount of finishes and decisions? I don't know. Maybe just about that. Can Pimblett beat Chandler? By the way, I'm getting absolutely rinsed. I'm getting rinsed. Obviously, I made the videos on Charles is going to win type shit. But obviously in the videos, I was very much like, he's probably going to get knocked out. But I think he's better. But no, Ilia's a fucking beast. Like, that's it. Like, folks, you can sit and slag me off all you want. Ilia is an absolute animal, and we just have to appreciate the fact that we're going to get super fights after this. I don't want to see Ilia versus Arman. I'm not hyped for that. Ilia versus Pemblet is what the biggest fight the UFC could put on in the last 10 years. Like bar McGregor, if you ignore McGregor from this equation, first of all, it's Ilia's superstardom. Ilia's superstardom is what makes the fight so big, and Paddy's superstardom, but also the fact that if you told me 2 years ago, 3-4 years ago, when Ilia and Paddy scrapped in that hotel, that they would be fighting against each other for a belt at lightweight, it would just blow me away. My phone has been going crazy, by the way, folks. People replying to the videos I've made, like just as soon as Oliveira hit the canvas, I had notifications pop up. This video age bad. It's like, yeah, well fucking spotted, you silly little cunt. Like, the thumbnail age bad. You know, I was very honest in the video, and Ilia gets it done after celebrating the victory last night. He goes out there, gets a first round finish, doesn't take any damage at all. Charles Oliveira, you couldn't necessarily tell he was feeling the power difference, even though Joe Rogan was like, you can tell he's feeling the difference in the power here. It was like, no, he really wasn't. Like, it wasn't visible in my opinion. However, what he connected and the guy went out like a light. Like, it wasn't even like, the thing is, when you're dealing with a guy like that who just waits and waits, you have to catch him first, and you have to just fucking go at him and clip him and put him on the back foot. If you put him on the back foot, it'll realistically take away a lot of his power. He bobs forward, makes reads. It's such a if you were game planning for Ilia, it would be fucking nerve wracking knowing that you can put your lights out at any point, you know. Whereas, on the other hand, it's also really scary fighting someone like a Max Holloway, who you know will not slow down, or a Merab will not slow down. Like, Ilia is more dangerous in a sense of you can put your lights out any time, but the idea of fighting a Merab is fucking more daunting because, oh fuck, I'm gonna get dragged into deep waters. Whereas, okay, you could put my lights out, but I think I could beat him. You know, and Paddy Pimblett very well could beat Ilia Topuria just based on skill and size. Obviously, on the feet, Ilia's going to connect, so Pimblett needs to scoot around. And guys, I know you don't want Paddy getting a title shot, but that fight would be absolutely huge. Imagine the arena for a Pimblett versus Topuria lightweight championship fight. Imagine Paddy Pimblett becomes a lightweight champion, beating Topuria, the first man to beat Topuria, 17-0 versus like what's Pimblett, 23-3, 24-3. It would be an amazing fight. Two young guys in the division, and can I just say, it's the start of like the younger generation coming through. You know, Arman, Ilia, Paddy's, I get like 31, but where does Oliveira go from here? I know where you go. What you do is, if Holloway beats Poirier, you do Holloway versus Oliveira 2. Perfect fight. Holloway versus Oliveira 2. Gaethje versus Arman for the title shot eliminator. Fair. And you do Ilia versus Paddy fucking in Europe. Do it in Europe. I understand you want the American market and American prime time, but if you do that fight in Europe, oh my god, I can't even describe how amazing that would be. Anyway, I might go sleep. I'm so hyped. I'll probably just end up sitting on my phone. I'm not gonna go to sleep. But guys, Ilia Topuria is an animal. We've never seen anybody like him in this sport, and all you Dagestanis want to slag him off. Your boy has just made me scream. Ilia has just made me fucking scream at the TV at fucking 5:30 in the morning. Khabib never did that. Islam never did that. It's very much like, oh, okay, you got it done. Oh, good job. Like, this is why he's a superstar. He's not riding off the coattails of a fucking crotch-sniffing cousin. You know, this is what we want in this sport. Thank you very much, folks. I love you all, regardless of if all of you hate me. It's a fucking wrong prediction. get over it. My official prediction was Charles. I just had a gut feeling, but obviously that gut feeling was the size of a fucking nut. Like, it wasn't even like I'm not gonna justify myself. Like, I've been saying all week, like, this is so fucking dangerous. Like, I just wanted to see if the power translates, and obviously it does. So, thanks for watching. Fucking amazing, amazing performance from Ilia. That little blonde bitch. Oh my god, this is gonna be fantastic.